So yes, sometimes I have to make myself watch Netflix
How?
just because it makes me sit down. Um, and even though I'm staring at the screen, which I know is not resting because you're processing, for me it's better than, say, social media because of that. I find that scrolling thing really, um, it impacts me like 8 hours later when I'm going to sleep. Often I close my eyes and I can see the phone flashing at me still. What's wrong with me? um, yeah.
Do you
So
feel
yeah,
it's
I'm
the flashing of the screen, or do you feel it's like all these different messages coming into your brain?
I think it's just all the different messages coming into my brain, but it makes me think of that scrolling and that flashing. So I'm sort of linking the two. Yeah, I feel like there's a link there for me. And I can get a bit sucked into Instagram now and then. Um, that's my kryptonite. But I try and really just, just do 10 minutes or something, not at night. Yeah,
How
that's
do you
enough.
make sure it's only 10 minutes?
Hmm. Well, I don't, it goes for longer than that a lot of the time, but not too much longer. I don't know. I think I start to get a little bit bored with it now, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty much all manufactured. The main things I want to read on there are, this sounds a bit weird, but it's kind of, I've only recently discovered all the people with ME and POTS and fibromyalgia on Instagram. And I really love, about 10 of them. They're all really positive. They're going through hard stuff. Like they're not as well as you and I now. They're still in it, but they're so inspirational. Um, yeah, so that's actually who I want to check in with. Those people who are being really brave and they're talking about it and they've got a platform they can talk about it on.
Yeah, such an
Um,
inspiration. I feel like Instagram is often used for that to just talk about those stories and kind of that influencer model of just talking about their stories and sharing it with people. And then there are people like you who are following it and are like, they're so positive. This is really nice to follow and read. And then you get lost in the social media jungle.
yeah, it's a
Constantly.
double-edged sword, but because it's so hard to connect with someone else who's got ME, I mean,
Yeah,
because you're not out all the time, you're not going to meet anyone else with it.
true, true.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, so social media is helping you to read those inspiring stories, to connect with people with the same experiences. But you
Yeah,
also feel that it's kind of draining your energy, or it's like 8 hours later when you sleep, it's still going through your mind.
yeah. I really need to limit it. And I think I might even try and implement something a little bit strict, like maybe every other day I have a look and, um, yeah, because I
But
do find it uplifting. I do find it's got that positive influence for me. It's like when I talk to you and I just feel like, oh yeah, Emmy, whatever, it's fine. We've got,
normalizing it, and then
yeah,
one is the
absolutely.
normalizing part of, oh yeah, it's fine. And then secondly, it's the positive part of you reading on social media, and it's uplifting and it helps you.
Yeah.
When it's interesting that you say you want to do it every other day. Um, how do you see that happening?
Good question. That's not going to work, is it? I don't know.
Why
I
not?
don't, well, because that's really structured.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. I probably do need a little bit more structure in my life going forward now that I'm getting the energy back. And yeah, I think I might have to implement a bit of structure because I've grown used to having the structure of having a burst of energy, laying down for an hour or more, or a lot more, another burst of energy, rest.
Yeah.
So as your energy, that bucket fills up, you just kind of got no structure. That's sort of how I feel at the moment. And because I'm studying at my own pace, really, I've just got way too much control over my day.
Because
I
the
can just
energy
sort of,
bucket is more full now. You have more energy. But what you
yeah,
were doing before, the structure was kind of based on resting and doing stuff. And you always had to adapt to your body with the periods of resting. But
yeah,
now that it doesn't really depend on those things, you don't really need to lie down during the day anymore, which is a huge accomplishment. But now you have
yes,
all that extra energy. You're like, maybe I need actual time management structure here and not energy management anymore somehow.
yeah, because I've never been great with that super structured way of living. Um,
Mm.
for some reason. Um, and I had to adopt it because of my body and and you sort of grow very used to pacing, so it just becomes your way of life. And then when that pacing need to pace diminishes, which happens, yeah, I need structure. I need some structure. I need, you know what I need? I need some discipline,
Mm. Do you feel
self
like you have
discipline
discipline?
in some areas of my life. Like I'm really disciplined about food and taking my supplements and, you know, things that have really helped me. I'm pretty good with sleep. I'm really good with not not expending any energy on groups of people who don't don't give back at all, or just don't,
Mm.
that I come away really drained from. I'm really good about those things, but actually sitting down and what I'm doing, you know, throughout the day, no, not a great deal of structure there at all.
Mm.
It's like, oh, I'll go and read, you know, a paper on something, but I get distracted.
You get distracted. What
Yeah,
makes that you don't get distracted when you're being disciplined with food and sleep?
I think it's because I'm so, I know the benefit to me to stay focused in those other areas. And I think I just haven't still quite got the benefit to me to focus and really use some of that self regulation that I know I can do, that I do have in a lot of areas. Um, but yeah, it's how I spend my time when I'm by myself is where I sort of get out of control a little bit. And the social media and the Netflix and the daydreaming and the answering the phone and then emails and a bit more daydreaming, you know.
Which
I
are
wonder,
things that you enjoy as well. The daydreaming, it helps you to just unwind, to kind of stare and gaze, which is a super important skill that you've had since childhood. And social media lifts you up when you follow those people who inspire
yeah,
you. So it's all
yeah,
positive things that your brain maybe wants to, like, hey, let's do that instead. But then it frustrates you as well because you don't have the focus or the self-regulation in this area when you're by yourself. Does that sound right?
absolutely. Yeah. Just like talking to you about it, I feel like I would just feel better if I planned out a block of time, maybe even just like a morning session where I just, you know, I do my study and I just try and hold the distractions back, you know, maybe even just till lunchtime. And then after lunch, I'm allowed to have a little bit of
Hmm.
mind wandering, but
So you have half a day of focus and then half a day of just let it go. Just give it the permission to, woo.
Yeah.
I also heard that in the mornings you mentioned that you used to wake up daydreaming and that you like to just sit there with your coffee, gaze a little bit. Will you imagine, for example, the coming week, a morning where you would focus on focusing until lunch, right? How would that daydreaming fit in, or what would that look like?
I think there's still going to have to be a coffee and a little daydream before the focus starts. I just don't think that can go. I think that could
It
be
doesn't
unrealistic.
it doesn't have to go. It can be structured. It doesn't have to go.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I feel it's sort of it's how I feel like I still have some freedom.
Hmm.
I think that's what it is for me. I do it because I need to feel like I still have some freedom.
Yeah.
Hmm,
What do you
hmm.
feel about giving yourself that piece of freedom when you wake up and then going into the structured part until lunch?
I think it sounds like a really good idea because I think I might even enjoy the freedom even more because the way I'm doing it right now that I've got the energy but I've lost all the structure, I actually don't feel like I've got freedom because I'm just bouncing around from one thing to another and woo, it's kind of fun, but I'm actually not getting anything done.
Yeah, and then it's fun, but it's a frustrating kind of fun.
And then there's the like, not really guilt, but like just the knowledge, knowing that I've actually got to watch a lot of webinars and do a lot of quizzes. And I really want to because I love that learning so much.
Mm.
So I'm just going to write the word focus morning time down um, because I think you have identified what I need to work on. Thank you.
You identified it. I drew it
I
out of
can't
you.
do it without you.
So when you think about the coming week, let's dive even deeper. Um,
Okay.
what does that look like specifically? You wake up, and what happens?
Okay. I wake up, the house is all quiet. My dog wakes up when I wake up. I go out to the kitchen. I turn on the coffee machine.
Nice,
And
love the details.
yeah, I make my coffee exactly how I like it. And then I go out and I sit on the front deck and I just stare at the trees and listen to the birds for a while. Well, I'm really slow at drinking a cup of coffee because I think I stretch it out because it's not really the coffee, it's just this experience.
Hmm.
And I think I just have to stay a little bit more aware of what time it is because I don't have these big time constraints so much anymore. So it's so bizarre because, before I got sick, I'm a lawyer. Every 6 minutes of my day was billed to someone. So I was so structured because, I would never want to not overbill or underbill or, I just was so concerned about getting it right. And I've gone from that to just this like complete do what you want. I think I need to have it when it's 9 a.m. I need to be at this desk and it's going to feel good.
Hmm. And how are you going to get yourself out of the gazing with your cup of coffee to be at the desk at 9 a.m.?
I think that's going to take an alarm. It's
Do you
going
have
to
a
take an
nice
alarm.
alarm?
Oh, yeah, I have quite a nice sort of tinkly one that happens. So it's
Not
on
the
my
harsh.
phone.
You're
Oh
deep
my God, no.
daydreaming.
No way. Yeah, so I don't like to even go anywhere near my phone in the mornings. So it's plugged in another room but if I turn the volume up, I'll hear it on the front deck. So I think
Mm.
I'm just going to have a 9 a.m.
So
just to remind.
you're gonna leave it in the other room so that you cannot be using it while you're having your coffee and letting the brain go wherever it wants to go,
Mhm.
watching the birds, watching the trees. But the volume is high enough so that you can still hear it. You go there to turn it off and you sit where you're sitting right now.
Sit down. And I think I'm going to put a big bottle of water on my desk, ready to go. So I haven't got that first excuse to get up. I need to have a drink of water.
You're
Uh,
already problem solving and thinking about anticipating challenges and finding solutions to it. Love it. Love it.
yeah, we'll see. I'll let you know how I go.
Yeah, yeah. So you see the water was a challenge for your brain to make excuses to walk around and get and find some water. Are there any other challenges or excuses that your brain
Mm,
could make that we can
mm,
anticipate?
mm. My brain will go, oh, you should go out to the kitchen and get together your NAC and those nice little vitamins and things you like taking. And you really should take those like before lunch. So you should probably just have a break and go and do that. So maybe that is like a maybe that is a 10-minute break, like at 10 or something.
What time do you
And
usually take your supplements?
well, just any time during the morning.
Okay.
I have no schedule, Maya. It's dreadful.
Well, now you do.
I do. I do. I
You
think I
didn't
go
have
and
to.
do
Yeah.
that at 10 and then I just come back. I don't think I might go and do some washing, or I might go and walk my dog down the road, or I just come back because after lunch there will be time for all of that.
And you know you can push that out and you can walk the dog and do the washing, anything your brain wants to do in the afternoon.
I think that I need to do this, or I'm never going to finish my month 7 syllabus because I'm supposed to be in month 9.
Oh, but hey, you're on a
I'll
good.
get there.
Yeah, and when you focus every morning until lunch, you're gonna fly through it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the last few weeks have been a bit crazy, and there's been no self-regulation in that area whatsoever. I think as soon as I finished my second PSD, I just subconsciously went,
Ah, yeah,
everything's
that's that.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna have a little rest now.
get it.
Yeah,
Which you gave yourself. You gave yourself that rest moment to celebrate, like kind of a milestone that happened. You did your exam. They were like, hey, I'm just gonna do whatever my brain wants to do. And now you
yeah,
feel like it's time to get back on that horse, get back to the structure, and get back to it. And this is the perfect moment for you to do that.
yeah, to get some balance back.
Yes. You
Yeah,
go get that balance back.
yeah, I'm excited about doing that.
And I'll be looking forward to hear how that went for the next
I
week.
will tell you.